I'm Scott Saunier, Chief Administrative Officer for Iberia Parish Government, and I want to thank each of you for showing an interest in your parish by being here this evening. Iberia Parish Government is comprised of some 35 funds, meaning we basically run 35 small companies. We have over 300 employees and roughly 74,000 customers. And on any given day, I think I speak to about 73,000 of them. It takes a great deal of communication and teamwork to accomplish the task of running parish government. While we may not get it right every day, please note that it's not due to a lack of effort by our employees. I am proud of the people I have the opportunity to work with each day. I want to thank our staff for the dedication and commitment they continue to show towards all of you. It is on many days a thankless job, as unfortunately most of our community does not understand what each employee puts forth so we can all experience a comfortable and safer life. So I would ask that before you leave tonight, please tell at least one parish employee that you appreciate their service. Tonight, you will see only a small snapshot of what has occurred in the last 3.5 years, but I think it will be most informative. When we arrived in 2016, we were faced with some significant financial challenges amongst a long list of other issues. The path moving forward was quickly identified, and we have not strayed from that path. It meant making some tough decisions, some tougher than others: budget cuts, staff reductions, renegotiations of contracts, to name a few, have helped us to weather the storm thus far. We are not out of the woods and continue to face challenges, but I think you will see tonight that Iberia Parish is in a better position than prior to 2016. The direction we are headed is clearly defined, and we are committed to staying the course. Now I want to introduce tonight's presenter. When President Richard first took office, he made a promise that he would make every attempt to be transparent when it came to workings of parish government, and I believe he has held true to that promise. He also promised to work with everyone and to communicate effectively with everyone involved in the process, and I believe he has held true to that promise as well. I believe that tonight you will see the effort he puts forward in assuring that we all work together is paying dividends for those of us who call Iberia Parish home. Please give a warm welcome to your parish president, M. Larry Richard.
Good evening. And how are y'all doing? Well, good. I'm going to try to do a little PowerPoint presentation right here. First, I want to start off by thanking God for allowing all of us to be here today. I want to thank the parish council members that we have here, and I'm going to try to introduce each and every one of them that's here, starting off with the chairman, Paul Landry. Would you please stand and recognize yourself? Paul Landry. Marty Trahan. Eugene Olivier. Lloyd Brown. Joe Duga. Brian Napier. Warren Goshasan, Tommy Pollard, and last but not least, Natalie Broussard. I want to start by recognizing our staff. Scott Saunier, CAO. Cindy Provost, my assistant. Herb Johns, mosquito control. Please stand, Herb. He's the director of mosquito control. Michael Broussard, procurement officer. Miss Amy, GIS, and she runs her whole department by herself. Kim Segura, finance director. Donna McDonald, human resource. Miss Anita Boudrin, sewer district. Herman Broussard, public works. Mike Tarantino, IDF. Darrell, security of everything. Darrell Manning. Prescott Marshall, he's over Homeland Security 911. And I know I've seen Stanley, Section 8. Stanley Small. Thank all of you for being here. I also have some others that I would like to recognize before I get started. Mayor Carol Boudreaux, General Mayor. Mayor Freddie DeCourt, Judge DeMaille, David Ditch, Clerk of Court, Okay, so let's get started. What I'm going to do today, tonight we're going to focus on a few things. Disaster response, specifically Hurricane Barry, infrastructure projects, a couple of departments, and finally, finance. On June the 13th, 2019, Barry made landfall. And let's begin by discussing the recent storm events that took place with Barry. Of course, you know that hurricane preparation is a big part of what we do in Iberia Parish government. In fact, I think it was 4 months after I got elected, we had the very first meeting, the very first hurricane preparedness meeting where we brought everyone in, everyone meaning like the Department of Health and Hospital, the National Guard, all of the different agencies, the Sheriff Department, the Fire Department, and the list goes on and on and on, to try to get prepared for whatever type of emergency that we could have in Iberia Parish. The preparedness, the emergency preparedness plan that we have was designed for hurricanes. However, it works for plans, period, for any type of emergency that we deal with. Just like when we had the flood in 2016, we used the exact same plan, and it worked out very, very well. You can be assured that our plan is up to date. We constantly work on it. You can be assured that we have all the contracts in place that's when needed in case you have an emergency. Annually, we get together and we go over everything. And that's to ensure everyone that they understand their role in what it is that they have to do and when needed, and also to identify the essential people or personnel that we have in Iberia Parish. Emergency operation. Emergency operation in Iberia Parish, when you're dealing with a hurricane, we typically start 120 hours out. That's 5 days out. Of course, you know, when Barry came, that didn't work because we got Barry 72 hours out. But the plan that we have in place is very detailed and is very organized. So what we had to do was just get our plan from 120 hours out to 72 hours and then take action from that point moving forward. In that emergency operation plan, we do things like start moving equipment to higher grounds, topping off the fuel tanks, meeting with department heads and the parish council going over what's happening, holding meetings with the sheriff department, the fire department, and all of the essential departments that we have in Iberia Parish with CERT and state police and mayors and things of that nature. We send out press releases. We stock up on sand. We do all those types of things when we're starting to get into the emergency operation mode. Recovery mode is a totally different story. The recovery mode of the plan is a very essential part of what it is that we do. The execution of the post-storm hurricane response is critical in the recovery mode. We deal with public safety. We assess what basically happened and started getting out people like the Sheriff Department and the National Guards and all of those types of things. We started looking at shelters if we need to open up any type of shelter. That's when CERT get involved with what's happening and the Red Cross. We make sure that all of our contracts are ready to be activated if needed, if we meet the criteria that's actually needed to activate those types of contracts. Public Works at that particular time is activated to go out and start clearing the roads and doing drainage work where needed. Public assistance, we start to work on that, working on identifying if there's any type of individual assistance or public assistance that we can actually get from the storm. We work with agencies such as GOSEP and many, many, many others. The appropriate agencies are activated. Communications with the citizens are constant. We constantly try to communicate with the citizens in the event of an emergency. In this particular case with Barry, due to the fact that the storm wasn't as severe as some of the storms that we've had in Iberia Parish, of course, we have a contract in place that we could have activated with a national firm. We elected not to do it because the amount of money that we feel that we're going to spend just for the national firm to mobilize, we could have actually got the whole parish taken care of as far as removing debris. So what we did is we obtained a burn permit from DEQ. We worked very, very, very close with DEQ to do this here. We negotiated a contract amendment to the contract that we currently have with Waste Connection. We prepared the landfill to where DEQ would accept our recommendation. So we got the contract from DEQ, we opened the landfill, we got an operation running. It's ongoing as we speak. And I want to say thanks to DEQ and thanks to Public Works for getting everything squared away so where we can actually obtain that. Some of the positives that we got from Barry is you may have heard of this Iberia Parish information notification system that we just launched actually in June. And that was a major, major help in this particular event. We have some 16,000 people that actually logged into this system to receive information from us. Some of them receive information via email, some of them receive information via text. It was a major, major help. Whenever we did something like declaration, we was able to get to the people instantly instead of trying to go with channel 3 and channel 10 and 15 like we do. We always will do that. But the people that had actually signed up to PINs were able to receive this information instantly. We partner with a lot of people to make this parish government work. We partner with local government and regional and state government and federal government and agencies and also local businesses. And it's a big deal for us. And in saying that, what I would like to do is at this particular time is thank some of the people that made the what I consider to be a success during the storm, made it work. And of course, we did everything in that particular storm that we've done in any storm. We had curfews, we did a declaration of emergencies, we did all of those things. But this one here, you know, we did the exercise so many times, just going through the exercise as a mock, till when it came time to doing it for real, we were pretty well informed as to how we was going to handle this. But I want to thank different agencies and businesses like the Iberia Parish Sheriff Office, the Fire District Number 1, the City of New Iberia, the Town of Delcombe, the City of Jeanerette, the Village of Lauraville, Red Cross and CERT, the National Guard, GOSEP, the Louisiana State Police, Public Works, Iberia Parish Office of Homeland Security, Prescott. I can't say enough about your press. I really appreciate everything you do, and you was very well worth your weight in that one. Amy, I appreciate everything that you did with GIS, and I appreciate everything everyone did, so I better be careful before I started getting in trouble here. The District Attorney's Office, the Clerk of Court Office, Walmart, they donated things, and Super One, same as Walmart, and Sean's Grocery in Delcombe, and the Iberia Parish Council. We had council people that was in meetings, almost every meeting I was in, some of the council members were there. And it worked out very, very well. It was a team effort. It's not something, this government is definitely not managed by the administration alone. This government truly have the workings of and with the parish council, and the parish councilman was intimately involved in the decisions that we were making as we were moving forward. Cajun Navy, the Department of Health and Hospital, Acadian Ambulance were there, and you probably heard the story where they went and they had a lot of work to do at the hospital, and they did it with pride. And we appreciate everything that they did. Parks and Recreation, the Acadiana Regional Airport. The Acadiana Regional Airport ended up being a second place in case we needed it for a shelter if we was going to need one. Lowe's was very instrumental. That's where we had our command center. Iberia Rentals, they always take care of Iberia Parish and do what they have to do when it come time to helping this parish. Waste Connection and DEQ, Dr. Chuck Brown. Can't say enough about him. When I called him and asked him and told him what it was that we were wanting to do, it was just as simple as getting it on paper, getting our legal documents squared away, and taking care of business. And another person speaking about legal that I want to represent, or pay some respect to right now, is our attorney that's here right now. That's Andy Shealy. And I don't know if any of you know Andy, but we work extremely close with Andy, myself and the parish council. So Andy, why don't you stand up and be recognized, please? Everything we do in Iberia Parish, we have to have it, it has to be done correct. And I know we work Andy extremely hard, but it has to be done correct before it's going to leave, or I'm not going to sign it. It's just that simple. The next thing I'm going to talk about is infrastructure in Iberia Parish, and we have several projects that I'm going to talk about. The first thing is the 675 roundabout. which is a project that's going to be a $2.6 million project that's going to be paid for from the MPO and managed by the Department of Transportation. This project is going to be one of the largest roundabouts in the state of in the state of Louisiana. It is built in conjunction with the Acadiana Regional Access Road. The two projects will support local business interests that's already in place and allow for industry to diversify through marketing opportunities with international cargo carriers. It's not only going to support the Acadiana Regional Airport, but it's going to support the Port of Iberia as well, and the future development of Progress Point Industrial Development Project. This is a big deal for Iberia Parish. It's a real big deal because it's going to be funded through the MPO and the Acadiana Planning Commission, which is extremely good for us. The next project that we have is the Acadiana Regional Airport Access Road. This project is projected to cost anywhere between $8.5 to $9 million. This project is going to give us access to further or future development to Progress Point and improve access to Acadiana Regional Airport. But it's going to decrease the stem time. And for those of you who don't know what stem time is something that the large carriers use, like UPS and FedEx. In 2016, when I got elected in February, I went to Memphis myself, and at that time, the airport director, Mike Tarantino, and we met with FedEx, and we tried to find out what it is that they want when they're looking to go to different areas, and we found out a lot. And we did not have and still don't have some of the things in place that we need to be able to attract some of those types of companies. And one of the things was stem time. Every minute to these companies are like $50,000. So by doing the roundabouts that we're looking at doing at 675 and building that access road, that's going to reduce the stem time from that direction by some 6 minutes, and that's money to them. The next thing is straightening of Highway 88. The straightening of Highway 88 is a federal funded project, 100% federal dollars. This project is going to cost anywhere between $2.5 to $5 million, and that's the way that the state put the numbers out. They don't give an estimated cost because they don't want a vendor to come and try to meet that particular number, so they give a range. So that particular range is anywhere from $2.5 to $5 million. Those of you who followed this may remember that that project had actually started about a year and a half ago. Since it is a federal funded project, they found a little porcelain doll leg that they called, what was it called? I'm trying to think. It was some type of archaeology deal where they stopped the whole project to find out what that doll leg was all about. And so they're just getting back on track right now, and we hope that that project could actually start in 2021. I spoke with the Department of Transportation today, and they said it's scheduled to go out for construction in early of 2021, and the estimated time for completion is going to be 1 year. The Lewis Street widening is another project that's going to be funded by the MPO APC. That's a big deal for Iberia Parish. That particular area have a lot of accidents, so this is something that we really need to do to take care of accidents that they have there, and to have better flow of traffic. It's a big deal for Iberia Parish. As you know, in that particular area, you have a lot of businesses that's starting to come there. This particular project is $2.2 million, and you're going to see more like this because as we start to develop in Iberia Parish, we can work more with the Acadiana Planning Commission to try to get more money to get projects like this funded in Iberia Parish. And I'm so glad to say that I am the vice chairman of the Acadiana Planning Commission, so that helps. The next thing is the new state-of-the-art facility for emergency preparedness in 911. This particular project is under construction right now. It's a $4.9 million project, and we expect that to be completed in July of 2020. Much needed facility for us. When we have emergencies here in Iberia Parish, like the hurricane or whatever, we all meet in the basement in Prescott's office, and it's extremely small. I mean, if it was this big, it would be awesome, but it's a very small office, and it's packed. So we have to have overflow rooms for council members and other agencies because they can't sit in the room with us. But once we build that particular facility, it's going to help out a lot. The next thing we have here is the Iberia Public Works Facility. This is much needed for Iberia Parish. Currently, the Public Works Facility that we have is on Avery Island Road. It's in a flood zone. This new facility is around 19-foot base flood elevation, some 36,000 square foot on the roof. We can actually put all of our equipment in there, in that building if we wanted to. It's a much, much needed facility for us. We're going to have a place where we can actually have our sign manufactured inside a facility, inside the building. We're going to have a place where people can actually go and get sand. When it's raining, they can drive through the building instead of standing in the rain, where we can actually bag our sand and have people just drive through and pick it up for hurricanes and things of that nature. It's just an all-around nice, going to be a nice location for public works. It's centrally located. It's going to save us a lot of money on fuel. So when a truck leave in the morning, it don't have to leave from Avery Island and go to Jeanerette, or leave from Avery Island and go to Laurelville. It's centrally located right on 182. Much needed for Iberia Parish. The next thing that we have is the Robert B. Greene. This is a project that's been going on for some 6 years now. Finally look like we are going to be able to get this project taken care of. The Robert B. Greene Veterans Memorial Building renovation. It's $450,000 that we're getting from capital outlay and local match. This facility is actually in facility planning right now. We submitted everything about a week ago, the last letter that was submitted with the drawings. We're waiting for the green light from Mr. Lee so we can move forward with it. And I know the veterans on that end of town, they are truly waiting for this because they've been talking to me about it for years. So we're going to move forward with that. Next, I'm going to go over some projects that we've done in Iberia Parish over the last 3 years. Sewer system improvements at the Port of Iberia, we completed that. That's $128,000. Water system improvement from Waterworks District 3, currently under construction, that's $654,000. Water system improvement from the Ridge subdivision to Beyonce Road, $145,000. Construction of the new libraries in Coteau and Laurelville, currently under construction, that's $2.1 million. Additions and renovations to the Iberia Parish Public Works Facility under construction, $1.1 million. The sewer system improvement and rehabilitation currently under construction for $270,000. Hayes Road Bridge, which is actually going to start hopefully within the next days. We have the contract and everything ready for that. And that's a project that we've been waiting for quite some time. That's $303,000, and we expect that to be completed at the end of this year. Replacement of John Lewis Bridge over Weeks Canal, that's completed, and that's $464,000. Replacement of Gondron Road Bridge over this canal, I-29B-1A, is completed. That's $467,000. Replacement of 2 Bull Island Road bridges completed, $754,000. Repair to Cooley Road Bridge over Dubois Canal and Norris Road Bridge over Segura Branch Canal completed, $324,000. Replacement of Railroad Bridge over Poufette Canal completed, $434,000. Replacement of Briarwood Bridge over Commercial Canal completed, $363,000. Replacement of Back Road Bridge over Delahousie Canal completed, $1.5 million. Replacement of Bull Island Road Bridge over Norris Branch completed, $356,000. Replacement of Northside Road Bridge over Canal M11 completed, $182,000. Repaired Harding Road Bridge in Lydia completed, $44,000. The new storage building for the Clerk of Court completed, $367,000. Tesh Lake Road realignment and shoreline repairs completed, $116,000. The new passenger terminal at the Acadiana Regional Airport completed, $798,000. The water system improvement for Waterworks District Number 3 on Jefferson Island Road to Norris Road to Jefferson Island Elementary School completed, $96,000. Water system improvement for Waterworks District Number 3 on Coteau Road from Libby Road to Snapper Road completed, $360,000. Water system improvement for Waterworks Number 3 on the east side of US 90 frontage road between Captain Cade Road and Cocho Road, completed, $360,000. Road priority list, the council actually gave me the authority to go out and get bids and contact and construct, or shall I say, get a contract with a consulting firm to list all of the roads that we have in Iberia Parish and prioritize them so we can actually go out and try to get these roads repaired. Next one. Exterior painting and waterproofing of the courthouse, $353,000. Renovation of the courthouse, second floor, common area. Phase 1 is completed at $170,000. Renovation of the gym floor at King Joe Recreation Center in Generet's completed, $48,000. Renovation of the new Iberia Veterans Memorial Building in City Park is completed, $91,000. Renovation of the Roy Building for the use of the Sheriff Patrol operation completed, $61,000. Water system improvement for Waterworks number 3 contract, water lines completed, $417,000. Listen, I could have kept going. I did that because I wanted to show you guys, or let you guys hear some of the projects that we're doing in Iberia and that we've done in the last 3.5 years. We've been working, and we have a lot of work to do. Next, I'm going to talk about Iberia Parish Gomesa 5-year plan. This is a plan that we're going to follow that was actually brought up and completed by the state as the state master plan. Iberia Parish government, we look to follow the CPRA master plan in Iberia Parish. We're going to use the Gomesa dollars that we have here to stop the water that we have coming in from the Gulf and to help us get the water that we have in here out. So with that said, we have 3 projects that we're trying to do right now. One is People's Cooling, one is Segura Road East, and the other one is Jefferson Canal. These 3 projects is going to total $5.6 million, and it's going to hopefully save a lot of houses in Iberia Parish. The next thing we have here is a schedule on how this is going to work. It's probably going to be hard for you to read it from there, and I'm going to try to do the best I can. In the blue is when the projects are going to start. The project's actually starting as we speak. People's Cooling, the engineering work on People's Cooling is actually starting right now, along with Segura Road East and Jefferson Canal. By the end of 2020, we should be, July 2020, I'm so sorry, we should be going into construction with People's Cooling, and you can see the early part look like the first quarter of 2021. The structure that we're going to be putting at People's Cooling should be in place. And that's going to keep the intrusion of water coming back, that's coming in from high tide to come into the parish, which is going to help us when it's time to, whenever you have a rain or whatever the case, your main channel is going to have less water in it. So itself is going to work somewhat like a detention pond. And if you look at the way we have it scheduled, the blue is all engineering. So when we start the first project, People's Cooling, we're still going to be doing the engineering for the second project, but by the time we almost finish with the construction for the first project, we'll be starting construction for the second project. And this is all calculated to make sure that we don't spend money that we don't have. And this would take a lot of time. So if any of you want to have more information about that, I would have to just get you into my office and show you more about it. But this is a big deal for us. Capital outlay. And I put this here because I simply want to show you other capital outlay funds that we're receiving in Iberia Parish. Earlier, I talked to you about the access road and also the Robert B. Greene building. But if you look, we're also receiving from for the Acadiana Gulf of Mexico Access Channel, Port of Iberia in Priority 1, $7.5 million. And in Priority 5, we have $6 million right there. But we also have a match of $100 million that they're going to be trying to get with that money as well. And when you go to the bottom where you got the rehabilitation of Hangar 88, that's Priority 1, which is money that's ready to be used right now, $1.4 million. So we have money that's coming here, and I want to tell all of the legislators from Baton Rouge, thank you so much for everything that they did, and we appreciate everything that they're doing, and we're certainly going to make them proud with the money that they're getting for us. Not only the legislators in Baton Rouge, but the legislators that we have in Washington, D.C. as well. Next, we're going to talk about Public Works. Public Works is responsible for over 400 miles of roads, over 800 miles of drainage, more than 60 bridges, slash busting, grass cutting, cleaning, dredging, spraying, road maintenance, signage, litter abatement, and public safety. It's a lot of responsibility. Just drainage alone, since 2016, in our drainage department, Public Works, just doing the slash busting, we did over 33 miles of slash busting work in Iberia Parish. And many of you may not know what is a slash buster. A slash buster is a machine, when you're trying to go and clean a channel, some of them haven't been cleaned in so long, they have a lot of trees growing in the front of them, so you got to get those trees down. So it's a big piece of equipment that we have that goes really on the top of the tree, and you just mulch it down. And you get rid of all of the trees and the brush that you have, so you can actually drive your equipment there, your excavators there, and the other things to clean the channel. It's a major operation, and I will tell you, Herman have some great employees that operate those types of equipment, and they're doing a very, very, very good job. We have cleaned laterals and main channels, over 95 miles of laterals and main channels. We have cleaned roadside ditches, 288.5 miles of roadside ditches. Major work going on in Public Works. We started, I guess it was about maybe last February of 18, we started working with litter abatement. So we got with the district attorney's office and the sheriff's office to figure out how could we get litter abatement done in Iberia Parish without having the money to do it. So basically what happened is the district attorney's office and sheriff department and the Iberia Parish government formed a litter abatement program where we use people that need to do community service. And so they have community service hours, so on weekends, on Saturdays, they meet at Public Works, and one of Herman's employees go out in a truck or two, and they meet with the people, and they go out and start picking up trash that we have throughout the parish. We have really fine-tuned this thing over the last several months. The very first time we did a pickup, we only picked up 14 bags that particular day. Right now, we're picking up some serious trash that we have in Iberia. That's not a good thing, because that means people are throwing trash all over Iberia Parish. But currently, we have 648 bags of trash that have been picked up. And in addition to picking up just trash, we pick up things like tires and TVs and your wood and your bedding materials and your appliances and your plastic items. Wrote a little deal right there that you'll be amazed at what people simply throw away. It's amazing that people just throw things all over the place instead of just properly disposing of it. But it's an excellent program, and we have a lot that we want to do with that program. And the number one thing I would like to do with it is next try to figure out how to take actions with people and prosecute them for throwing these tires and trash all over the parish, because the only thing you're doing is making us go out and spend time doing the cleanup when we should be using the personnel that we have doing other things. This particular slide that I have here is just to show the people in Iberia Parish what Public Works is all about. In 2015, we had 62 people in Public Works. Currently, we have 39. And if you listen to what I just told you, what those people are doing with 39 people with over 400 miles of road, over 800 miles of drainage, trying to pick up trash, trying to do, with the work they have, it's amazing. But from the 62 to 39, we have a reduction of 23 people in that department, a 37% reduction in the workforce, and I feel they don't miss a beat. Last things I want to talk about is finances. And we can talk about this one for a while. But royalty revenue in Iberia Parish, as you clearly can see, in 2008 we were receiving some $6.7 million, and in 2018 we received a little bit over $900,000. That's a big difference. That's a huge difference. When you take a look at the next slides, it's going to tell you that in 2008, the $6.7 $7 million that we were receiving, we had a debt service of $483,000. You were receiving $6.8 million, but you had a debt service, your bills was $483,000. And what's important is that we realized that with that royalty funds, we were using that money to maintain roads. So you had $6 million and you had a debt service of $400,000. Some of the $6 million was being used to maintain roads. If you fast forward a little bit and you go to 2015, you'll see that that number dropped drastically to $2,300,000. But the debt service came up at that particular time to $942,000. You're still okay because you still can use some of that money on roads, but the numbers are getting closer to balancing out now. If you go to 16, remember in 2015 is when we did a bond in Iberia Parish to do the bridges because all the bridges was out. So in 2016 is when you start to pay that bond note down because the projects you heard me talk about earlier that was completed in 17, 18, we started paying that bond note down. So when you look at the numbers now, all at once in 2016, your debt service goes up to $1.1 million. But your collection is $1 million, so you're already upside down. So then you go to 17, you're totally upside down. And if you go to 18, it shows where we actually received $900,000, but our debt services, just debt services, was $1.4 million. That's not spending a penny on roads. So you completely flipped. So where we used to be able to take some of that money from royalty and do road projects, all of the money from royalty right now is going to pay debt service, and we don't even have enough money coming in to pay your debt service. So when people talk about roads in the parish, we have a dilemma. Last year, we went out and we tried to get a tax pass for roads, and it didn't pass. And I'm not a big tax person, but at the end of the day, my job is to manage this parish. And looking at what I have and what I have to do it with is not going to work. There's no way we're going to have the infrastructure that we need in this parish receiving the monies that we have. We can talk about live within your means all day long. That's your means. That's what you got. And this is what it is that we have to do. We have to take care of our debt, but we also need to maintain what we have. A little better news right here if we talk about sales tax and revenue. If we talk about sales tax and revenue, you look at the slide, 2012, your sales taxes, of course, was much higher than what it is right now. You can see each one of them come down. I'm going to try to explain some of them to you right now. If you take a look at your economic development district, we have an increase this year over the last 7 months of 58.52%. If you look at garbage, you have an increase over the last 7 months of 31%, 31.32%. Mosquito, you have an increase of 12.67%, and recreation, you have an increase of 21.53%. With that said, if you average everything out, you have an overall average growth of 31.01%. Sounds great, but you need to look at where your slides are and look at where your numbers are. So we are here, but we started here. So we're not back to where we used to be. We're on the way up, but we're not back to where we were in 2012. So we can't get too happy. We can be happy because your sales taxes are coming up, but they're not where they need to be yet. So we still have a lot of work to do to keep us in the position and heading in the position that we're going. We can't get carried away. Very pleased to report the 2018 audit report. The 2018 audit report clearly show you that the general fund revenue 2014 was $5.4 million with the expenses of $6.3 million. And when you go to 15, it shows you that your revenue in the general fund was $5.3 million, but your expenses was $5.9 million. You go to 16 when we got here, it shows you that your revenue coming in was $5.3 million, but our expenses was $5.9. A year later, it shows you that our revenue is $5.2 million and our expenses is $5 million. So we're starting to make things work a little bit. In 2018, it shows that our revenue is 5.1 million and our expenses is 4.7. So we're not upside down anymore. But if you look at it from 2014 to 2016, we're completely upside down. 17 and 18, we're spending less, receiving, staying within the budgets that we projected. And that took a lot of work. Another thing that was very impressive from the audit report that came this year is when you look at the cash days available. Your cash days available right here, and you show in 2014, Iberia Parish had 37 days of cash available. And in 2015, they had 30 days available of cash. In 2016, we had 29 days, and look at your chart and see what's going on. And 12 months later, we went from 29 days of cash on hand to 58 days, okay? And from 17 to 18, we went from 58 days to 78 days. And this come by a lot of work with the parish council and the administration, doing a lot of things that we needed to get this parish in order, in financial position to where we can actually try to manage what we have. Now, there's a lot that's not going on in this parish that I would like to see. I would love to see us overlaying roads. You know, I get so sick of people calling me saying that you just patched the hole on my road, on my street a month ago, and now it needs to be patched again. The problem is, and most people don't realize, 2019, yeah, we only had $200,000 for road materials, parish-wide, to buy road materials parish-wide, $200,000 over 400 miles of roads. So when a person called me and talked to me about overlaying a road, we can't do it. The only thing we can do is patch and things of that particular nature. If you look at your average daily operation expenses in 2014, every day we were spending $17,000 a day. If you go from 14 to 16, we were spending $16,000 a day. If you go to 18, we're down to $12,000 a day spending. That's a reduction of daily expense of $4,231 a day, or 24%. We have really got this thing in line as far as what we're trying to do and how we're trying to get this parish, how we're trying to manage this parish and grow this parish and get the infrastructure that we need in this parish. And we're doing it all receiving less dollars. Royalty funds, we're down probably collection, I don't know, I'm going to say 84% was the number I think we used to use. But we're still making things work. Do I wish we could do more? Absolutely, but you have to work with what you have. I put this slide up here simply because I wanted the people over here to see. In planning and zoning in 2015, we had 517 permits. And you can clearly see how it went down every year. You had 43, an average of monthly 43 permits you were doing in 2017. Up until June of this year, we have 337 permits, averaging 48 permits. If we stay on that roll of average of 48 permits, we're going to have 576 permits this year. I feel very strong and almost would like to say, I'm just going to say I feel assured that we're going to reach that 517 permits that we need, that I need to see in 2019. As you can see, things are moving up in Iberia Parish. We have a long way to go. I decided to do this type of setting for the state of the parish this year. Of course, you know that every time we do one, we do it different. Last year we had a moderator. I sat there and I talked about all the different things, and Mike was the moderator. The year before that, I think we had, the first year, I think we had the different department heads come up and speak on behalf of their department, what it is that their department do. And I thought that was very successful. This year I felt that I wanted to show the parish a little bit about the finances that we have in Iberia Parish and what we're doing with the finances that we have to operate with and where we're going with it. And the direction is truly going up. We are moving in the right direction. I'm very, very blessed that we have a very strong finance director. We have an extremely strong council, and they all work very well. We do very well together. And I just want to say that Iberia Parish, I think, is looking up. I'm not going to stay here all night and talk here, but I'm going to stop the presentation in a minute. And I want to go down and talk to all of you in case any of you have anything that you want to talk directly to me about. This presentation is, for the most part, going to end right here. So I want to say thank all of you for coming. And I look forward to working with you guys for the next 4 years. And if you need anything from me, I'll be down in a minute to talk to you. Thank all of you.